Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Full House Games. You are joining us for Modern Madness at Good Games on a Wednesday. To start us off, we have Chris on the right there playing Red-Blue Delver, and he is playing against Patrick on the left, who is playing Mono-Red Burn.
So it looks like Blue-Red Delver started off with Grim Lava Mancer, which is one of the stronger draws. Aside from just straight Delver into Serum Visions. And he's attacking for one. Riftbolt is on suspension. Mono Red, not the most interesting deck, but has a lot of plays, I guess.
Yeah, it has a lot of lines, especially with suspension and like how you suspend your cards and whatnot.
It's generally correct to suspend the Riftbolt turn 1 over every other play, just due to the nature of wanting to get damage in as efficiently as possible. Yeah. So it looks like he has an Eidolon in hand, which I don't think Blue-Red Delver, apart from killing it, can just loses to it. Counter or counter kill or just lose to it.
Yeah.
It's not good when all your spells cost less than 3 and you're taking 2 for everyone. Though he does have the Grim Lava Mancer in play, so.
And that being said, Robert also has not played his second land, it seems, so. Yeah. In a bit of a pickle there. And
he shocked himself to leave up probably counter magic. It looks like he has Dispel in hand. Oh, Mana Leak, that's a Mana Leak.
And Lightning Bolt.
Oh, he Mana Leaked the Lightning Bolt. So, if you can top deck a land here, which doesn't look like he did, that would have been a free Eidolon.
And you just take the lava spikes and everything.
Yeah, you can't.
You sort of just need to race, right?
Yeah, at this point you just... Oh, look, you got the Flip Delver, so at this point he can pretty easily race. Because Delver is a Lightning Bolt a turn, along with Grim Lava Mancer. Yeah. Adds 5 damage a turn as long as he's got 2 or more cards in the graveyard, though. I think he's only got Mana Leak in the graveyard at the moment, so he has to find something.
I'm inclined to agree with that.
And there is a young Pyromancer
who's going to set his clock even better. And a Serum Visions... Do you Serum Visions here, or do you just...
Well, he's got...
Leave up maybe a Spell Pierce or something. Got it in hand.
He has Serum Visions, an Electrolyze, and a...
That is a Spell Pierce, but he's played a creature, so... Goblin Guide obviously is going to get around that.
Getting in for the sick beats.
Will he reveal that land? Looks like he didn't get one, and he's just going to take 2, because why bother when you can beat stick everyone to death?
I imagine at this point that the clock is fairly well faded in red-blue tempo. The fact that he's missing his second land. Red Burn, it can deal with very few lands, but it still needs that one land just to... Or 2 lands, sorry, to get through to the extra damage.
I think if you're Chris here, you don't swing with everything, or are you just that close to winning that you don't care?
Well, he's taken 3, 6, 9, 11 damage. So he's not dead this turn, because even if he top deck land, the most he can deal is 8.
So an interesting play from Chris here could be to Electrolyze 1/1, get a token and block and kill that Goblin Guide.
Yeah, that's true. But it looks like he just killed the Goblin Guide. He didn't want to mess around with potential problems.
Fair enough. I guess having that token is going to last you longer anyway, so no issues there.
I'm not quite sure how much life he's on, but I think this may be a lethal hit.
Yeah, looks like lethal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the crutch of keeping a 1-land hand has been too difficult for Mono Red to come back from.
It's always tempting with Mono Red, as you're like, I have all these 1-drops, and then you have the other one in hand, and you just lose to yourself. But that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah,
it's difficult to try and get it. It's like sometimes the worst opponent is yourself in deciding that, I've done it so many times that I've just flooded out. I'll be fine this time, and you're not.
Yeah. I in fact lost to myself in the first round of this, where I just could not stop drawing lands. It's quite upsetting. But it looks like when I read citing an Anger of the Gods, which is good, because I don't think anything in Blue-Red Temple has more than 3 toughness.
Yeah, that's definitely something you want, because it'll deal with pretty much every creature. It'll deal with as many tokens as it gets.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're exiled, so they can't be food for the next Grim Lavamancer that comes in.
I'm not sure if he's playing Snapcaster Mage, but
yeah,
I don't know. I haven't actually seen the list completely.
The Snapcaster Mage would be a pretty good card in this sort of matchup.
Yeah, get as many 2-for-1s as you can.
More and more value over time. Yeah. It's interesting that it's just blue-red actually. They're quite similar decks when you think about it.
Yeah, blue-red has a lot more like it has Vapor Snag and it has Young Pyromancer. Just as it plays a lot more. It plays similar to a control deck, but without a lot of the heavy control cards. Like it doesn't typically play Cryptic Command.
Yeah, and obviously you're not going into white, so you don't have those paths or celestial colonnades. So you are trying to race, but you're trying to race a little bit faster than your other typical opponents.
Yeah, it's typically good against Jund type decks where you just play more things than they can deal with in the minimal turns, because you got turn 1 threat, turn 2 2 threats, turn 3 a Young Pyromancer and a spell, and you just overwhelm them very quickly. There's not much they can do about it unless they side in board wipes like Anger of the Gods, or they just get lucky and you miss your land drops.
If Robert hits that Eidolon, it's going to be pretty much game for Chris.
Yeah, if he's not got a Grim Lavamancer in play, he has to bolt it, which does 2 damage to him, which is effectively an attack from the Eidolon. And
he has to have that bolt. And even if he does have the Grim Lavamancer, he has to then have 2 cards in the graveyard.
Yeah,
or have to put 2 cards into the graveyard, which could be up to 6 damage in total from casting the Lavamancer and those 2 extra cards.
Yeah,
it definitely doesn't look good, and it's probably one of Robert's major lines here.
So it's come down with the Suspend Riftbolt again. And if you're not playing fetch lands, Grim Lavamancer has a lot less fuel for the fire. And I haven't seen a fetch land yet, so I can't say if he is or isn't, but doesn't look like he is playing any fetch lands.
Yeah. And so 2 land this time from Robert, keeping a good hand.
He's got a 3rd land in hand, Skullcrack.
Oh wait, is that that's not a Grape Shot in there, is it?
Oh, Spellskite.
That's definitely one of the worst for a red mage to see.
Yeah.
And a Magma Jet's...
I don't think he's redirecting it to the spell site, because it's...
Well, it'd be in response, obviously.
Yeah, well... yeah, that's true. But 2 damage for 2 damage is not worth it.
Yeah.
It's the same cost either way, so you may as well just make sure that the spell scat can survive any surprise attacks.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. There's no free red spells in Modern, but you never know. Simian Spirit Guide out of the board.
Yeah.
That secret tech.
Yeah.
No one expects. Shouldn't expect.
Might have gotten away with it last time. There's an Eidolon though.
Yeah,
you pretty much slam that right now, yeah?
Yeah. Because a spell scat can't redirect that damage, sadly.
Let's maybe... You want to actually cast your Bolt first, or whatever spell you've got, before casting that Eidolon, to avoid as much damage as possible, though.
The red deck doesn't really matter, and at this point the blue-red tempo deck isn't posing any real threat. So he's played Pillar of Flame to exile the Eidolon, so he's still going to take 2 from it. But so the Eidolon effectively dealt 2 damage, which is still pretty good. But now, if he just leaves blue mana open, he decided not to leave blue mana open, instead to cast Young Pyromancer, he could just effectively counter all the red spells for free.
Yeah.
With just 1 blue counter target spell that deals damage.
That's definitely true. And I mean, paying 2 life is... You probably want that Pyromancer on board, because you can get
You can start playing threats, yeah.
Yeah. And pretty much every spell is going to hurt you more than 2 damage, so you're always going to make...
some form of profit.
Is that?
That's Shard Volley. Sacrifice a land in addition, deal 3 damage to target creature or player, so it's a worse lightning bolt. It's a lightning bolt.
It's going to...
Oh, there's another one.
Double Shard Volley.
Yep, so he's taken 2 by paying the Spellskite, so it's effectively gained a life, but that's still 5 damage to the face this turn, which is quite a resounding clock. And then Skullcrack. So he's probably getting quite low, but there is no cards left in Red Deck's hand. So
yeah, and that's not where you want to be at.
Yeah,
in a red deck.
Yeah, you want them to be dead by this point.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because if you go land,
you pretty much need to draw Lava Spikes and or Skullcracks to get away with this, right?
Well, at this point, it's Eidolon or Vexing Devil, something that actually is not a spell.
Vexing Devil is going to cut the mustard here.
Because Spellskite can just redirect any spell, and he's just leaving blue mana open, and there's nothing that...
What do you have here that's 3 mana? Or what are you not casting?
There's no point casting the spells at the moment until he's got enough to go effectively bolt, because if he's on less than 3 life, he just pays 1, and then pays 2 life. Yep. So you effectively need 4 spells to be able to do anything too.
That's fair enough, but I don't think Robert's Clock is going to participate well with that.
No. If he can top deck, say, a land and bolt, and then he'll redirect to the Spellskite and then Anger, that would actually turn the game around, but I don't think he's got it.
Most definitely, that's a good way to get things done. Yeah. But I believe that Chris has a Spell Snare in hand. Oh, sorry, Spell Pierce in hand.
Yeah, that will.
Which is going to hurt a bit.
Yeah, I can't see him winning at this point.
I'm surprised Spellskite doesn't have Defender written on it and can actually attack.
It's a weak card.
Yeah.
Pay life, redirect spells. That seems too good. We better make sure it can attack as well. Just in case you ever want to
get value out of it.
Yeah. Well, now you can Splinter Twin it and make a copy and attack with it if you really want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
it's Tempered Steel.
Yeah.
Give it +2/+2. It's now a 2/6. And that Pillar of the
straight up Pillar of Flame to the face.
That's not promising.
It's
when
a little bit insulting for Chris here. Yeah, and it looks like I think
he's just scooping up.
Shard Volley in hand.
Yeah. He's demonstrating that he in fact drew most of the lands in his deck.
He said it was 9 out of 19 lands in his deck.
That's a high ratio of lands.
Yeah.
You don't want that many.
Yeah, definitely something you don't want in mono red.
Yeah.
But that was round 2 of Modern Madness at Good Games on a Wednesday, and please join us for round 3.